People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi, everyone. Well, if you've watched the show before, welcome back. And if you're new to the show, nice to see you. Oh, wait a minute. I can't see you, but you can see me. Well, maybe that's all that matters. No, I'm just kidding. So I had a couple of times I had a guest co-host, and it worked really well because the co-host thinks of different things than I do, you know? So it's really interesting. They ask different questions. So I thought I'd do this again today. And I'm going to introduce my co-host. He's my new friend. I hope he feels the same way. Mr. Nanji. Where are you? There you go. Hey,
Princess Guitar, how's it going?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, so you didn't have to call me Princess. What did you call me? No, it wasn't Princess. Just kidding. So, yes, I called you my new friend, so I hope you didn't mind.
Oh, I'm glad. It's very nice to have I'm glad we're friends.
Okay, that's really, really good. So now I know you've done a little research about our guest. Would you mind introducing her? Please.
Sure. So Rachel Doucette, she is currently the communications manager at Rainbow Greenhouses and has been there for a couple of years now. They are a wholesale grower and distributor of potted plants. Also, in addition to that, she is the training coordinator and president at the Senior Peer Counseling from BC. And she's been doing that for quite a while now. And I believe she also has a background in interior design as well, and decorating and event management. So she's got a very interesting background. It should be very interesting to talk to her.
Great. Well, yeah, Rachel, welcome. Welcome to the show. Oh, there you are. Welcome.
Hello,
Rachel.
Nancy and Aatif. How are you?
I'm really good, really good. You know, Rachel, I just I looked it up to see when I interviewed once before, and that was 4 years ago.
Yes, we got younger.
Well, we were all younger then, you know. But it goes very fast. So I'm going to let Aatif start off with some questions, if you want to do that, Aatif.
Yeah, sure. So, hi, Rachel. Nice to see you again.
Oh, nice.
So I was digging through your LinkedIn page, looking for things to ask you about, and it looks like you've had a pretty interesting work history. You know, number one, I mean, I noticed that you're the communications manager, and I was very interested also actually in your interior decorating background as well. One thing that kind of struck me is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem like the kind of person that kind of carves your own path. You don't really wait for a job to pop up. It seems like you kind of make your own work, or you make your own position. Am I correct in saying that?
That's interesting. I guess, yes, that's exactly what I do. I've learned through my own experiences and now also working with people over the years is to find who you are, find your gift, your special abilities, and make a business out of it, or find something in that work field that will match that. So that's exactly what I do.
That's awesome. And I guess, you know, my next question was, you know, there's many people out there that, you know, want to be entrepreneurs. They want to create positions and work for themselves and kind of march to the beat of their own drum. What would you say to somebody that wants to do that? How do they get the ideas? Where do they get the motivation from?
Well, again, I would say it has to match you. If you don't enjoy what you're doing or know too much about what you're doing, I probably would suggest not to do it. Keeping motivated, I mean, anyone who has started a business or even contemplated on it, they know how much work it is to put it together, to even initially start your business, never mind getting it going off the ground and in the community. So getting the right help at the right time. I think a lot of people are afraid to have a higher overhead, maybe keep their expenses low, but I would say really consider where you're investing your money and your time and the kind of people that you want to be around, that you want to be involved with in your company or that can help flourish your business. Hang out with those people, pay those people for their services, because you can't be a jack of all trades all the time. So relying on other people to help you grow your business will be key.
All right, that's very good advice.
One thing I want to ask you is, do you think that being isolated the way we are, a lot of us, that has really helped some people develop or recognize their skills that they didn't realize they had before?
Well, I guess that would be based on different experiences that people are having. Some of their, it depends on their outlook on what's going on and how it's affecting them and their family. I find some people are using it to be more creative, get more outdoorsy, even start gardening. So we're finding an increase in sales even at the greenhouse when I work there. But I've unfortunately heard too many stories that it's become overwhelming and depressing, and they've really lost themselves in this. So, but again, it depends on who that person is and ultimately their outlook on what's going on.
Yeah, I think I would imagine if you were like a people person before, if for you it would be difficult if that you can't reach out to people that you would normally reach out to, or make, not even people that you would normally do, but going out there. One of your jobs that you had when I met you was with Welcome Wagon, right? Which meant you were always out there meeting new people.
Yeah. And it goes with anyone that has a business that is relying on business networking. It's really changed how you do business networking. Before it was more in person, you could connect a little bit better. It was a little bit easier to do. For some people, they've had to learn how to do networking over Zoom and online, which is another level of networking, and it can be fun, but it's definitely different than in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Has it affected your family at all? The COVID, the isolation?
Yeah. So I have a lot of kids.
Yes. How many kids do you have?
It's not easy to kick them outside and go hang out here and there anymore. I think being a mom and a full-time employed mom, it's been more difficult with them being in school, especially at the beginning when they were withdrawn from school. So I had to be teacher as well as work and try to work from home while I teach. So that was the whole level of patience that was needed for that on both sides. But yeah, that was, I think, the most difficult. And I think the other difficult part about it is, it makes it, we've learned to adapt, but it really just the social media aspect of it, and everyone just harping on this, and it's coming in every angle, and everyone's sharing their opinions, and you hear it everywhere you go, and it just becomes and then trying to process with the kids, and there is bad things, but sometimes good things can come out of bad things too, and I try to get the kids to really open their mind and look at that. But when it's just all depressing, all rules, and everyone's yelling at you because you're doing the wrong thing, the kids, it was hard to deal with how they felt about it and try to coach them through that at the beginning. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. You have another question, Aatif?
Those are my biggest ones. I guess I wanted to ask you about your experience as the PR and event manager at the Chilliwack Military Museum. What's that been like for you?
Oh, I love doing it. Working with older adults, number one, has really advanced me in my understanding in life, business and work and operations in the world. Really opened up a whole different worldview. But working with the military museum and veterans and collecting their stories, I don't think people really understand what it all involves. And so I took joy in working with them and getting their messages out to the community and helping them develop and teaching them how to rely on younger minds and younger involvement to get their, there's so many new advantages to this age right now with technology and everything. So that's a lot of what I was doing with them, is just getting them more involved with their community, getting people to understand their stories, and using their stories to emotionally move our community and understand the history here, and I mean all over the world, and what does it mean? We could say, oh, it's just you go to war and you fight, but there's so many different compartments about being in the military and so many different job positions. It doesn't always mean you're on the front line shooting a gun, so working with the youth and getting their message out to the community, I enjoyed working with them very much.
How did you get that position?
Getting into the whole business networking part, that's when you get to meet people and you find out new things that are happening. I led a senior coffee connection kind of meeting. And I had met them through that, and it started off with some fundraising stuff that I was helping them with, and then I became a life member.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, it's been fun to work with them. I've learned a lot, and I've seen a lot of veterans unfortunately pass away, and it's really helped me though to shift my thoughts and ideas on life and what war is and what, you know, how that all works. So using their stories to reach youth and young adults has been great.
You do so many different things, and I always wonder, how does somebody who's a mother with a number of children, how do you balance everything? Because it can't be easy.
Yeah, you know, I mean, a lot of what I was doing was tying in together, but yeah, it can get a lot. It can become a lot, and so I've had to learn how to set boundaries and you know, really prioritize things. And sometimes I get off because my emotions get, you know, driving.
Yeah.
And I'm focused on the project, but then, you know, I just have to be open and hear when, if my kids or a family member or something else that might need me, then it's like, okay, well, I have to reassess where my energy is being put right now. And as long as you're doing that, like it's good to get out and volunteer and do little bits. I mean, a lot of people do it. A lot of our leaders are doing it. So, you know, how do they do it?
Yeah. I was just wondering what you're thinking about doing in the future. Like, hopefully we are going to get past this COVID situation in the near future, although it feels like it's going to be dragging on. I don't quite know. But what do you think you'll be doing once it's all over?
Once it's all over, I think I'll probably be doing what I'm doing now, just more of it, more out in the community. I'm very community oriented.
Yeah.
I love the people. I love backgrounds. I love variety. It's the spice of life. So I like being out there. Yeah. So once things are open up, yeah, watch out. Here I come. I'm going to be hugging everybody.
You're a hugger, are you? Can I ask you where you're from originally? Are you from Chilliwack?
I'm from Ontario. I moved to Chilliwack from Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Thunder Bay, okay.
Yeah, when I was just little. And then Chilliwack was kind of my, when I was younger, I called it my black hole, because we were a military family as well. My stepdad was in the military. So we traveled around a lot. We moved around all over Canada. But we always came back to Chilliwack because the base was there, and just this area was always calling us back. So yeah, it's now that I've grown up and became more mature, I don't look at it like a black hole anymore. I look at it like, this is my home. This is where my heart is. This is where I have to be doing something.
Right. I must say, when my daughter first came here, when she was first here, for her it was the smell with all the farms, you know, and especially when they were spreading the manure.
Yeah.
She would say, "Mom, Chilliwack stinks," you know, because she grew up in a city. So it was quite an experience for her, but certainly a good experience. Now, you must have seen lots of changes in Chilliwack over those years that you know, right?
Yeah.
A lot of good changes, in my opinion, recently. How do you feel about that? Do you think there's a lot of good changes happening?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of good changes. I also see that there's a lot of challenges that come along with that, because we're a growing community, and I think we're growing so fast. And, you know, just with the cost of living nowadays and all those kind of things taken into consideration, there's a lot of different challenges that Chilliwack isn't really used to. You know, it's a different age. And now Chilliwack has always kind of been the same small town, bedroom community. And now we're becoming a city with people from, again, all different varieties and walks of life. And now it's like, wait, who are we again? Who is Chilliwack? What are we as a community? And so there is some challenge in that right now. But again, using those challenges, I think we'll be able to use that to our advantage later.
Right. So, sorry, Aatif, I don't mean to monopolize the conversation. Just feel free to butt in if you have something you want to ask, okay?
Sure, sounds good.
Rachel, just wondering, like, I don't know how old your children are, but one thing I know, to rent in Chilliwack, like, it's getting crazy. And if you have children that are getting to that age where they're thinking of moving out or something, like, how are they going to do it? Do you have any idea what's going to happen for them?
Well, I like to tell them, think smarter, not harder. So let's sit down and figure out how much do you really need to survive, and like, what's your goal? So I try to prep them. But yeah, it is difficult. It's a difficult time for everyone. And you know what's kind of funny about that is just over the last couple of days of getting out shopping, doing things around, I hear this conversation coming up everywhere. Everyone's talking about it, even in, you know, little conversations that I walk by in the parking lot. You know, it's something that people are very aware of now. And so then I teach my kids, well, now that you're aware how much it does cost, like, what is your plan with that? How do we make that work? How are you going to make it work?
Yeah.
So, you know, they're not, I know a lot of people will suggest, well, they need to teach it in school. And I have a different kind of way of looking at it. It should be taught from home. You know, we're held accountable individually, and then as a family, and then as a community. So, you know, I remember watching my mom sit down and creating her budgets and things, and I looked up to that. I thought, wow. But as we get older, you understand different principles and laws that work with you.
Yeah.
And where there's organization, there's increase, and where there's a plan, you know, there's a goal, there's a direction, right? And so using those and trying to teach my kids how to use those they've all, the older ones are already successful, and I'm so proud of them.
Very good. Very good. Well, we're just about out of time. Aatif, do you have any last questions before we close off?
I guess one last thing. I want to sound like I'm really creeping on your LinkedIn now. So I saw that your interests include Tony Robbins and Kevin O'Leary and Bill Gates. So clearly you're attracted to entrepreneur types. I was just going to ask you if there's any particular person that has been influential in the way you've been thinking about business and your own entrepreneurship, your own journey there.
Yeah, all of those people. Again, I look at things like on a holistic level. So anyone that can feed me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, I feel like I'm aligned with who I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do, and I feel confident that I'm doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, definitely lately, Kevin O'Leary. I don't care what anyone says about him. He's someone that I really treasure because, yeah, he can be kind of a big head, but he's also used his head to make valuable decisions for his life and for other people's lives. So I had an opportunity to actually meet him and have dinner and pick his brain, and like he's phenomenal. Like the way he came from nothing and made something so big, like it's just so inspiring. So yeah, I take advice. I'm open to advice from anyone.
I have to ask, how did you get a chance to meet him?
Yeah, well, I went on a journey to financial planning and financial investments, and it's part of my future dream to eventually own property and have like an empowerment ranch. So my investors suggest, well, let's see what you do with your money before I give you mine. So I better get on that.
That sounds cool. That sounds pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I wish you all the best. And if you ever want to be back on the show, like, hey, anytime.
I love talking with you, Nancy.
Oh, yeah. I love, that's too bad we can't do this in person, but eventually. And so thanks for being here. And Aatif, thank you for co-hosting with me. Just hang in while I address the audience, okay? Everybody, I hope you really enjoyed learning about Rachel and what she does, and enjoy my co-host, my new friend. And I hope you continue watching the show. And will you just like and share so I get 100,000 views so I can beat the Clint Hames? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Too late. Anyway, be safe, everyone. Take care and peace out. Bye.
Nice talking.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.